Hey guys, today I want to show you how to resize your AWS Lightsail instance to a higher level. If you haven't heard, recently Amazon decided to cut their AWS Lightsail instance prices by almost about 50% across the board, and they've actually introduced two new instance sizes to pick from. So I want to show you that, but in the process I also want to show you what are one of the advantages you can take of the price reduction immediately. If you have a AWS Lightsail instance, let's say you have the instance that gives you 1 gig of RAM and 1 virtual CPU, and you were paying roughly probably about $10 a month plus taxes on that instance. Well, now that instance has become $5. So what you can do is, if your budget is still $10 a month, you can raise or go up one level to the next instance level, give you more resources like memory and disk space, and for the same amount of price. So that's what I want to show you today. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before we get started on creating an instance based off of a snapshot, I wanted to show you the new pricing structure real quick. As you can see, majority or all of these prices have been cut by 50%. The first one is not exactly 50%, it's probably around 40%, but they have reduced all the prices. Previously, for a 1 gig server you had to pay $10, but now it's $5, and then 2 gigs was $20, and now you're paying $10. So you can see that they've also added 2 new instance types, $80 for 16 gigs and $160 for 32 gigs. So should your application require that kind of processing power, you could actually use that or set those up in AWS Lightsail now. So that's good to know. So to set this up, you should go back to your home page where you have your instances listed. You can click on Manage, then head on over to Snapshots, and this is where you can take snapshots of your entire system at a point in time. And to do that, all you do is click on Create Snapshot. Now this will take a few minutes, so give it some time. Once it's done, your snapshot should be listed right here with the date. So once that's here, I'll come back. Alright, and we're back. So my instance snapshot was created successfully, and it's listed now here. So for our next step, we have to actually create a new instance, and we'll do that by clicking on the menu and the option here, Create New Instance. What this process does is it picks your instance snapshot as the source of creating a brand new instance. So your new server will be an exact copy of your existing server, including the website configuration, all your content, all your pages for your website. Everything is in there in this snapshot, and it creates a new instance based on this one. You keep all these other settings as default. Come down to the pricing, and what you'll want to do is click on the $5. And so in our example, what we're doing is we had a 512 meg server, which I was paying $5 a month for. Now I can get the same for the same price. I can get 1 gig. So that's what we're going to do. You move up to the second plan, so you click on that gets highlighted, and then go ahead and click on Create. That should take a few minutes, so while that's working, I'll take a brief pause, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, and I'm back. My instance, the newly created instance based off of the snapshot, is done, and it's working. Let's go ahead and click on it so we can go into the management section. First thing we're going to need to do is, or I guess almost the first and final thing we're going to need to do is give it the IP address of our existing instance. So right now you can see that it has a private IP address and it has a public IP address, but this is a dynamic one. So if you start and stop this instance, you'll get a new IP address. So what we have to do is go to our existing instance and take that IP address, static IP address, and move it to this one. So the first thing we'll need to do is deattach it from the existing instance. So your website will have a brief outage in this scenario, so try to do this when you know you don't have a lot of traffic coming to the site. So come here, click on networking and go ahead and detach the static IP address. Then go back to your new instance, click on networking, and go ahead and hit attach static IP address. Click the one that we've already set, and boom. So, and it probably in a couple of minutes, or even less, probably a minute, your website should be back up and running, and it should be running on now your newly created instance and taking advantage of the extra hard disk space and extra RAM that you're given for the same amount of price that you have been paying. What you can do is, I would say, leave your old instance around for maybe a couple of days or maybe a day, just depending on how comfortable you feel with this setup, just in case you need to go back to it or refer back to it. And you can actually go back to the old site just by going to the new IP address you have. Put that in the browser, copy this, and paste it up here. And if this was your existing site on the old instance, it should still pull up. Just in case you need it. Once you've decided you don't need it, go ahead and open up that instance, click on delete the instance, confirm that, and boom. When you're back to the home page, you'll have your new instance for $5 a month. Well, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do apologize for not getting videos out quicker, but as I get time, I will make more videos. The next video that I intend to do is Run Cloud with Lightsail. As many of you may have heard, if you're not, then go check it out. That Server Pilot is no longer free. So all the tutorials that I did for Server Pilot are still good, but they no longer have the free option. Now they only have the paid option. Run Cloud, on the other hand, is another online or cloud-based server management tool that is pretty good, maybe even a little bit better than Server Pilot. And so I'm going to try that out, and I will make a video on how to connect that to Lightsail so that you can stand up instances using Run Cloud. So until next time, thanks for watching.